Are we rolling? Okay, we're rolling. All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dumpster Divers PC Reclamation, Making It Count. I do apologize for the delay in producing any more videos, but it's springtime here in Canada, and this far north we like to take advantage of the sun while we still have it, and before we know it, it's going to be, dark out again. Come September, October, November, things start winding down, children in school, and things get dark, and that's the time to get back on making videos. But right now it's early spring, so we do gardening and outdoorsy type of stuff, and a lot of activity, fun in the sun while we can get it. Anyway, I have some good news. The X299 Sage build is coming along slowly, and I got bitten off quite a big project. It's actually a double project because the X99 that's in my level 10 GT whatever thermal take will be going into the CT840 or ATCS, I believe it is, 840 Cooler Master case. So it's a bit of a swap, and it's long and involved because I have a lot of components in the thermal take case that need to be moved out, and it's just a lot. But I'm getting this system board prepared, and I have to say the Windows 11 24H2 operating system, well, it's quite an adventure, especially if you're going to use the NRO option for your installation to make a local account, as opposed to just using good old Uncle Rufus, as I like to call him. And I did run into a little bit of a problem with the BIOS flash updates. Once I flashed the BIOS on the X299 to get it where it should be, my Windows 11 would not work anymore. And so it was a real struggle, and eventually I just had to reinstall it. And, I lost some personal files and apps, but it doesn't matter because there was nothing of any, extreme value on the operating system at that point in time, except that perhaps I'll have to call back some of the people I have licenses for, because I did have some licensed apps on there, and now they're saying I'm maxed out on my license. Oh, so yeah, it's been a real adventure. What a struggle! What a struggle, especially with this last update. It's May right now, so this last update for 24H2 actually was near the end of April when I made that update. Through a real monkey wrench, I actually had to use a standalone installer to get that last update to work on my system. And then I guess maybe because I didn't have, an updated BIOS, that resulted in additional problems. So yeah, every once in a while, it doesn't hurt to check your BIOS to see if your BIOS is up to date. Otherwise, you can run into problems, future problems, as a result. I don't normally like to flash the BIOS if it can be helped, because every time you do, you're taking a risk when you flash your BIOS. And I personally have not bricked. Well, actually, I think there was about 15 years ago, I bricked an old Pentium 3, which, it didn't matter anyway. It was just an experimental thing that I was playing around with. And yeah, I think I bricked the BIOS on that one, trying to do a flash the BIOS. And Yeah, and no big loss there. I didn't even pay any money for that system board, but I just kind of inherited it. But still, you know, you're always taking a risk when you flash a BIOS. It's a lot safer to flash BIOSes today than it used to be. But with no further ado, I would like to tell you where I am in the next stage. I should also mention that the crucial memory that I put in, 128 gigabytes of crucial memory, Crucial Pro, I believe it's called, Crucial something Pro, anyway. It says Crucial, yeah, DDR4 Pro. This system board does not it does not work well with this system board. It took a lot of work to train the memory, you know, putting in 2 modules at a time into, you know, this quad core system. And yeah, to get it to see the memory, that was a real job. Of course, it didn't help when this has never happened to me before. The memory was defective. Well, two sticks were. I ran the test. I was really surprised. This is, I mean, over 20 years, you know, using crucial memory off and on. I mean, I use all kinds of memory, but I've never seen a bad stick of RAM per micron. In fact, you know, can't really trust Micron for RAM. I don't know who you can trust, because they make probably the most reliable RAM there is. And so I was really surprised to see that, and I had to return it. But eventually, I finally got all the RAM done. So there's been a lot of hurdles in this build, and it's been challenging. And finally, now that I've got all the memory in, I can put in the cooler and get away from this little rinky-dink server fan on top of solid copper heatsink block. I won't have to use that anymore because I've actually got a cooler. And I've had this for weeks now waiting to be installed, but I had to make sure that I had the memory in the board before I put the cooler on, because the cooler is huge. It's big. If something happens with the memory, I'm going to have to pull the cooler back off and start all over again. And also with my taking the shroud off the graphics card, I thought maybe, you know, I should get some kind of a fan for this. And so I've got a fan here that I'm going to be strapping on, and it's kind of got a humorous name. It's where's that box there? It's a super thin fan, super thin, and so humorous. But you know, it is actually rather quiet. And I touched the fins on here, and they were ice cold, freezing, ice cold when that fan was running. Like, not enough to cause frost to form. We don't want any frost, but it was cold. It was really cold. So I think just by strapping that fan onto the back, I should have enough cooling capacity in the thermal take, because also at the same time, the intake on the thermal take case, there's a huge fan about this big, right on the side, that's going to be blowing, intake fan, blowing cool air right into this area, because you can actually direct, there's little vectors, you can direct the airflow from the fan on the side of the case right into, you know, the hot area where your components are. So I think I've got that well covered. Anyway, with no further ado, the Fearless Assassin. Yes, the Fearless Assassin, my friend. You know, I really wish they would have called it the Fearless Assassin, and perhaps this was a mistake when they first came up with it, and they thought, oh, well, we'll just stay with it. It's called the Peerless Assassin. Peerless, which is kind of, why peerless, you know? Why would they name it No Friends Assassin? Well, I guess it's got no friends. It's got no peers. It's a peerless assassin. And I think it should have been fearless. But anyway, This particular cooler, why I selected this cooler, I did a little bit of research on it, and it very much resembles the same sort of architecture that you get with the NH-D15, the NOCTUA NH-D15, which is unsurpassed. As an air cooler, it's unsurpassed. It is the coolest air cooler money can buy. But it also costs 3 times more than the Peerless Assassin, which isn't quite as good as a NOCTUA NH-D15. Reading the tests, it's about 2, maximum 3 degrees warmer. Well, I can sacrifice 2 or 3 degrees warmer for 1/3 the price of an NH-D15. So I got this instead of the NH-D15 because my wife is actually using the NH-D15. I know it's overkill for her Haswell build, but she likes it, and hey, when the wife is happy, I'm happy. So I'm leaving that there, and I'm putting this Peerless Assassin 120 in the computer. So I think this is by Thermalright. Those guys are really coming along. I've got some Thermalright pans, and they work really well. So they're coming along there, Thermalright. So I read the reviews. I've studied it. I did my research, my background check, and this is the beast. Now you'll see what I mean when I take it out of the case here. How huge this cooler is. All right. The Peerless Assassin by Thermalright. And I noticed, there's only 2 of the screws to set it into the brace or whatever it's called. The back plate or whatever, it's not really the back plate, forgot the name of it, but only 2, 1, 2, holding it down. So that makes it easy. And this will definitely be a good cooler. Now I need a good cooler because I'm dealing with the 7960, I think it is, yes. I think it's a 7960. It's an i9 7960X CPU. We're talking 16 cores, 32 threads. Yeah, it's going to pack a little heat. And it's an Intel chip. So I need a good cooler for that. So I'm going to be using this on the X299. And perhaps maybe at some point I'll move that's my camera lady. The original camera lady right now, she's not feeling too well, so we got Mother behind the camera this time. And she's not used to being the camera lady. So that's how we're going to go about it. I might just steal Mother's NH-D15 for the other build. I don't know yet. She might not like that, so might have to leave it alone. Hardware. It comes with the hardware. It comes with instructions. I'm sure these are the instructions. You don't have to be Chinese. Yeah, there it is. Peerless Assassin. Why didn't they call it Fearless Assassin? That's interesting. They say right here, please remove protective sticker before install. That's funny, because if you don't, you're going to have some serious thermal issues. That the protective sticker they're talking about is right here at the bottom. That has to be pulled off. I'm leaving that on there to keep it clean for now. But yeah, you have to have the metal contacting the thermal paste on the top of the lid of the CPU. And this is all the hardware that comes with it. open that up and have a look at it, I suppose. But I'd really like to keep things together until I'm in the process. Oh, and it comes with the thermal paste too. I'm sure it's of good quality because they wouldn't want to give you bad quality. Nice metal thumb screws to hold it down. Oh, this looks like quality components. This is not cheap, junky stuff. This is, wow. Wow. There's your back plate right there. And there's another plate on the side. So I think, yeah, we're going to be okay. And it's also got the noise limiter, if you want to use that, but that doesn't bother me too much. And the metal wire things for the 2 fans. And the good thing is it actually comes with the 2 fans. When I got my NOCTUA, it only came with 1 fan. So I had to get a separate fan for that. But the dual fans for the push-pull configuration. Fan goes in here, another one back here. You could actually put a third one on if you wanted. This system of air cooling is the best that there is. I guarantee you, I know I've used all kinds of coolers, and this is the right design, especially for this kind of a build. So I just wanted to show you this, and this has won a lot of, this is actually an award-winning cooler. It's won many awards, not just one award. So, you know, when you think about NOCTUA NH-D15, it's going for, I don't know, 160 bucks or something like that. And I got this for under $50. Yeah, definitely going to go with this thermal Right cooler. So I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to show you. I just wanted you to see what comes with it. Definitely, I could just tell the quality of the hardware is just, I'm really impressed with the, even has the bearings, like the bushings for, you know, absorbing maybe vibration. I mean, a lot of thought has been put into this. It's just, it's incredible. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. This is the first time I believe I've ever bought a thermal Right cooler. I bought so many different kinds, but this looks good. And this is going on the X299 system that I'm building with the i9-7960X CPU, and it will be going in my Thermaltake Level 10 GT. Hopefully, I keep waffling back and forth. Maybe I should put it in the ASUS 840 case instead, but this system board doesn't have any USB 2 headers, and my X99 does, so it's better suited to the ATCS system board. Of course, I could always just get around that with a card, right? But, you know, it's nice to keep things as native as possible. So, having said that, thank you so much for watching my video, and there will be more to come. God bless you.